Hello everyone, greetings. Shall I call myself still a Shia without practicing my rituals and following them properly. And after having found such verses, paying attention to them, reflecting on them, and finding out that they are not well written, and prostitution is allowed under consent of the slave girls in Surah Nur, verse 33. And Prophet Muhammad, especially this is for the Shias who we don't even believe that Prophet Muhammad frowned at a blind man, which is stated in Surah Abasa. After having found these things and rephrasing them, what shall I call myself? A true Shia. Oh, no, sorry. A Shia discovering the truth. Sorry, I haven't been close to being a true Shia. It was just a mistake. Or shall I say that I'm an ex-Shia Muslim? Emotionally, I'm I loved this religion, my Shia religion, sorrow, grief, it has a beauty of its own. And so, not many people can go with the pain in our hearts, in our souls. No one can endure these things that the Shias have for Imam Hussain. Okay, just a minute. Hello, yeah, so if when you will watch my video, I am recording this in my mobile recorder, voice recorder, so that's why I just said just a minute and paused it. So hope you don't get confused about this. This is not a professional video. It is very casual. And I never believed in debates and all this. So even as we were given challenges by the non-Shia Muslims, I never debated them or screamed at them, and I don't believe in these things. And neither do all of my Shias screaming and debating. But that in a civilized manner we can have a debate. However, when I came across Jiddu Krishnamurti, it really resonated with me, what he was saying and how he was conducting his satsangs, gatherings to find the truth, like in Surah Asar we are told in the end verse, truth seekers. So what is it? I don't remember word by word right now. So in some of the things I'll be very briefly touching, and some I'm going to be very let's see how long. I don't want this video to be very long, so let's see if I can succinctly put things. But due to my inarticulation, I'm a little, this thing, that's why set back to articulate this succinctly. And shocking things and my health conditions. Okay, so there are some other verses that in the Quran that I will speak about, like the Satan one, and in Surah Anfal. And before I proceed, there's something I have to say. I found this verse, and this is, you decide what it means, whether an apostate should be killed. Verse 28. Sorry, I make these mistakes. Sometimes I call verses surahs. So please, I correct myself, and I hope you understand and not get confused, because the last thing I want is to confuse people further and cheat them. So I apologize for that, for the confusions I caused by calling verses surahs. Okay, 33 surah, again Surah Azab, 28 verse. O Prophet, say to your wives, if you desire the life of this world and its luxury, then come, I will give you a suitable compensation for divorce and let you go graciously. It says here in this translation, Quran reflect. So let you go graciously. So we were told in Shia Islam that if you want to leave this religion and you have nothing against it, but for some reason, and you don't make things public against it, you're not fighting against it. But then, yeah, for the worldly, but this is not for my desire. And even then, if you leave for the worldly desire, there should be no killing of apostates, taking this verse into serious consideration. So please, no killing of the apostates. Actually those apostates who wanted to, we were told they were hypocrites and they wanted to harm Islam, hence humanity, harming humanity, because Islam was a great religion, greatest religion for humanity, for the welfare of the people and all this. So, however, now I've shown some verses seriously wrong. Something's wrong with them. Some of the wordings should be rephrased. In Surah Azab, especially for the Shias who believe that Prophet Muhammad does not make any mistake ever. He didn't even frown at the blind man in Surah Abasa and all that. It was a companion. And he's a mercy for all the Muslims believe in that, but the Shias believe that he was infallible. He never acted against God's will, never did anything against God's will, never feared the people, but feared God. He was God-fearing, pious, taqwa. That is taqwa, real, true taqwa, God-fearing. So, taking all these things into consideration, Surah Azab, verse 37, that you feared the people. Again, I'm going to mention it briefly here. It is, not properly phrased. So the Sayyid Shias, the religious scholars from Shias, should consider this. And so for them, for us, it is very, very shocking to find out. And the commentators, narrations of our Imams are silent about this on this verse in Surah Azab 37. When he concealed, that is okay, that they say that God informed him beforehand that a divorce would take place and that he would have to marry his adopted son's ex-wife, Zainab bin Josh. But even then I have a problem with that. So the Shia's explanation is this, and then I still have a problem with it. And then the other one says that you feared the people while Allah has more right that you should fear him. Didn't the Prophet knew from before? So, and so many things. If you just reflect on this, didn't the Prophet know? So even then so we say that now you see against the pagans, a lot of things against the pagans had come. Everything against the pagans had come. And so he must be fearing, and yet he kept going on with his message against pagan idol worship, right? So consider these things. Why didn't we consider them before? And here we make an excuse for him that God wanted to stress on, tell the now pagans who are now you're going to marry your adopted son's wife, ex-wife. So we Shias would say that no, that's why this particular way God told him here too, that do not fear the people. No, but it wasn't put in that way. it was put, but you feared the people. See the phrasing of this. It does not say do not fear the people. You do not fear the people when Allah's command and Allah's laws come down. They make more sense than these pagan laws, because blood relations are definitely biologically closer. You cannot marry your son's ex-wife. So, but you see, yes, that is right. But then the pagans would consider the adopted sons as their real sons. Bringing up is also very important. Now, I could say about the mother, now Muhammad is not the father of any of your men or, your people. But he is but his wives are mothers for the believers, everyone, or the believers. So really, this is also very confusing. If you reflect on this is wrong. To put Muhammad's wives as mothers, but he is not any of your people's fathers. So such confusing, so tricky, and then adopted sons are not your. So al-Mu'mineen, mothers, wives of the Prophet, mothers of the faithful are also not your blood mothers. And you can't marry them after they get divorced. Or if Prophet Muhammad dies, right, which he did, no one should marry the wives of Prophet Muhammad. That is also wrong, because those are not your blood mothers, your biological mothers. Things like that to reflect on. Certainly it shows that God made a serious mistake, a very grave mistake, and we didn't see it. And we are told that Prophet Muhammad would stay close to the hypocrites. We Shias were told, like some of the so-called Sahabas and wives who annoyed him. So, and yet he didn't, he would stay close to them. But now I see it the other way, why he didn't divorce Aisha and why he didn't want them to get married. Many points come here. Questions arise now that there is a problem and mistake in the Quran, errors, rephrasing things. Prostitution is allowed in Surah Nur, verse 33. So, and we were like, no, this is completely forbidden. It is what Abdullah ibn Ubay did. He was from the pagan disbelievers and all. He hired some 6 women. So you can see check the multilingual Quran and go to this verse in Surah Nur and the commentary of Aka Puya and Ali. Surah Nur, ayat 33. No, it's completely forbidden, prostitution. But there's room for prostitution, like I showed in my previous videos uploaded here on YouTube. Okay, the point that I wanted to make, I think I have forgotten now, that all these, maybe, there are some contradictory verses and all. And rephrasing should be, like something Allah did mess it up. Okay, so please forgive me for not completing my sentence and my point when I started off and I went to these verses. Maybe I'll come back to it in another video. For now, I want to show you another verse where in Surah Anfal, Shaitan gives up and says that he fears Allah. Okay, so before I proceed, please reflect on these verses. Surah 33, ayat 28, O Prophet, say to your wives, if you desire the life of the world and its luxury, then come, I will give you a suitable compensation for divorce and let you go graciously. So the worldly luxuries and all, you can leave Islam and Prophet will give you a suitable compensation and also leave you graciously. So what if we think that we find out that the verses in the Quran are wrong, seriously wrong, prostitution is allowed? Can we not speak about them since we were in this religion and it has been such a great shock finding this, and how come no religious scholar found this? So please reflect on this and seriously, very seriously. The mistakes, the way it is put, what a tricky way. And so those speaking now against Islam, don't you think we have a right? Because we have been so shocked. So please, no killing and no punishments should be meted out to them. Let them be free graciously and talk about what they have found errors in this religion. And now then going to this verse. Okay, so hopefully I have ended this verse 33:28, Surah 33:28. Let them go graciously. And now when you find out that this religion is false and you are giving evidence from the Quranic ayats, not even the hadiths, so no Sunni Muslim or non-Shia Muslim would point fingers at us. Even if they were to say that we were never Muslims, and what right do they have? Because Prophet Muhammad himself said that Ali, you and your companions are the triumphant. So you should look at from our hadiths. But the point here is that Shia, Sunni, this is hardly, only in Surah Ahzab the point comes out for the Shias against them, taking Rasulullah, Prophet Muhammad, infallible, his infallibility. Yes, taking him like that, perfect, never feared people. He was so God-fearing himself. So never made a mistake. But in Surah Ahzab, how come God corrects him and says that these are assertions you only make, whereas blood relations are the closest and have the rights because they're blood relations. So how come the Shias missed this? That Prophet Muhammad doesn't make a mistake. God never corrected him. God cannot correct him because he's infallible and he's come. Moses came up to the standard, but we say that Prophet Muhammad from birth was blessed. He knew he was the light of Allah and from Allah. Like we say the Masih, Jesus Christ. In the Quran, we don't say it. It's in the Quran that he is the Spirit of Allah. So you see, how come this all? So in Surah Ahzab, Surah 33, verse 37, it's even more shocking for the Shias to find out what I am pointing at. However, in Surah Nur, it is for all Shias as well as Sunnis, non-Shias. And now I am looking in Surah Anfal for the verse about Shaitan telling these disbelievers that he promised them a false promise and he's wiped his hands off them because he fears Allah. So there's another verse on Shaitan saying that I promised you a false promise, and then the Shias say that this is like the truth coming out. On Judgment Day, of course, the truth will come out from Shaitan, that I promised you a false promise. Even Shaitan will confess on Judgment Day about his wrong, false promises and lies and all that, his true nature. But here in this verse, it's different. It's like it is on a battlefield. I'm trying to find the verse here. Okay, so it's in Surah Anfal, verse 48. I will just read this. And remember when Satan made their evil deeds appealing to them and said, "No one can overcome you today. I am surely by your side." But when the two forces faced off, he cowered and said, "I have absolutely nothing to do with you. I certainly see what you do not see. I truly fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment." Now, I'll reflect on these verses, considering the Shia narrations also and sources. Okay? Hello, yes, so my Shias would say that about this verse, that Shaitan, it has been revealed during Muhammad's lifetime, that Shaitan is, what is the truth about Shaitan, and it has been revealed to the disbelievers too, the truth about Shaitan, that he was misleading people, saying these things. And then he even said that here, "I have absolutely nothing to do with you." He's a coward. He faced off and he said, "I have nothing to do with you." Okay, and the truth revealed here that now, can this truth be revealed that he fears Allah? Sorry, "I certainly see what you do not see." So we are told that Shaitan had such knowledge for 1,000 years or so. He worshipped Allah. In Allama Majlisi's book, in our Shia books, it is written, narrated by Imams. And so one of our, or many of our, from our 12 Imams, 12 Imams. So okay, he's a coward, and his true nature has been revealed before Judgment Day here in the war, holy war, or yes, between the disbelievers and the believers, or maybe Jang-e-Badr. So I'm not sure about that, but please excuse me which war it is. You can please correct me and tell me which war it is. But the point in question is, "I certainly see what you do not see." Okay, so Shaitan here also has that spiritual knowledge more than these disbelievers. Yes, more than the disbelievers, much more than the disbelievers. But I truly fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment. This line gives away something about the mistake made here by Allah and Prophet Muhammad. You see, if he certainly fears Allah, then why did he do this, mislead Adam from paradise or heaven or a lower place than that, considering Allama Tabatabai's exegesis on the verses of Iblis and Adam in the Quran. "I truly fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment." He does not truly fear Allah. He never did fear Allah. If he had feared Allah, he would have obeyed Allah. This is what my mind was going round and round on. Like, how could Satan, Iblis, when he was Iblis, disobey Allah's commandment to prostrate to Adam? Right? So, no fear of God at that time. So was Allah using him now? Reading this verse, taking this verse into consideration? Was Allah using him to mislead Adam and, to bring us here on earth, and then use Ahl al-Bayt, Panjatan Pak, Muhammad Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussain, for forgiveness. Adam would, we were told through the Shia accounts, to ask for forgiveness. It's very confusing, right? I could never really get myself to understand what in the world went wrong with Iblis. And now we are told here, he truly fears, I truly fear Allah. He truly fears Allah. For Allah is severe in punishment. And if he truly feared Allah and knows that Allah is so severe in punishment, then he would have bowed to Adam in the first instance, or in the first place. So another mistake, another error seen. You don't have to be a scientist or a philosopher or a judge or be very, very educated or comprehensively understand the Quran to know this. It's plain and clear. Once you neutrally, for the sake of the truth, you see these ayats, then you realize that this is wrong. How can Shaitan say, or Satan say, I truly fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment. So please also reflect on these verses. This verse in Surah Anfal, 8th Surah of the Quran, verse 48. And so I'll come back to more, perhaps if I find. And I found some subtle contradictions in the Quranic ayats. So this is another one, and this is the last ayat here is a very prominent contradiction about Satan. Okay, and so I want to, and another thing is I don't indulge in debates or anything, just discussions, and I'm a Shia truth seeker, so through like friendly way discovering. And truth seekers, remember, who fear nothing but want to know the truth. And we Shias felt this way, that we fear nothing but wanting to convey the truth. Okay? We don't fear the people, we don't need worldly gains or anything. But in Surah Nur, Ayat 33, for the worldly gains you can prostitute slave girls or those whom your right hands possess, if they consent, under consent. So if they remain to be chaste, then no, but under consent, yes. So I am looking at this, and I know that after having done thoroughly research on it, a thorough research, a thorough purification, reminds me of that verse in Surah Ashab. So I have found out that I have found the errors in the Quran. So now it is for you to see. I have just conveyed the truth, and it is very shocking. I myself am at times shocked at what I have found, and how come those people who told me that they were after the truth and they sacrificed their lives, put their blood and sweat together, missed these verses which I have given and will be giving if I find more of the verses. And I found a subtle contradiction in 2 verses in Surah Nur. I will be talking about that too later on in another video. So thank you so much. I will come back later.